Hey folks, Dumock the Artist coming at you from my hidden bunker deep within the bowels of the city. And I'm responding to a video called Worst Player Ever, made by Pro Jared, basically talking about his experience with one of the stupidest players he had ever encountered. I'm going to tell a rather similar story. I was running a second edition campaign a few years back, and this was sort of like my foray into games where I include traditionally humanoid monsters as player characters. So the players were being sent to investigate this underground complex built by a wizard using humanoid characters, using goblinoids, really. And so the players had a hobgoblin priest, a Maglubiet. There was a chaotic neutral rogue who, by all definitions, couldn't even tolerate obeying one law that the city he came from had, which is don't be a dick. It was basically a method I used to kind of keep law enforcement simple, but at the same time give people a basic guideline as to how they're expected to behave in this particular city. Well, they had managed to progress quite a bit far into the complex, and they found this huge, magnificent sanctuary built to honor the goblinoid deities. And one of the paintings that they found there was this huge ceiling fresco that had Maglubiet standing around being authoritative and, motivating the goblinoid spirits and ranting and raving. And he was standing before a great big throne of bones and everything. And the position in which the fresco was, you could see Maglubiet looking down upon the audience as he was addressing them. And I kind of made it clear at some point through the Hobgoblin Cleric that the area was considered to be sacred to Maglubiet, meaning it probably would be a bad idea to do something incredibly offensive to the deity in this particular area. And, well, half-elven rogues being what they are, this particular player decided that he was going to play the art critic. Now, mind you, everybody else in the room, they hear the description of the painting, and they all kind of like manage to say something along the lines of, wow, I didn't think goblinoids could do this. Wow, this is very interesting, blah, blah, blah. The half-elven rogue decides that is one ugly god right in front of the cleric of Maglubiet. And he said, you might not want to say that. The cleric in question was lawful neutral, so he was kind of like a little more patient and understanding why he didn't behead the guy right off. And he told the rogue, look, stop. We heard what you had to say. You're an unbeliever. Keep your mouth shut. This is a sacred space. He said that quite a few times. And as a DM, I asked him, are you saying that about the painting or are you saying that about the god? I'm saying that about the god. And he continued, and he continued, and he continued. And immediately, after I had to put up with this for a couple of minutes, I had everybody make a spot check. Strangely enough, the dice were in my favor. Everyone passed except the rogue. Everyone passed. I mean, even like the completely oblivious, most completely oblivious character in that room all passed their checks. So I had to describe the scene, which was everybody, all the other players kind of like look up and they notice that Maglubiet's eyes in the painting start to glow brighter and brighter. And as they were getting brighter, his eyes were kind of like narrowing in anger, making the painting look more angry than it really is. Eventually, the light from the glow of his eyes turned into a kind of spotlight focusing right on the half-elven rogue. all of the players, including the paladin, decide that they were going to back away from the rogue and just kind of like pull the, we don't know this guy, we were with him, but yeah, we really don't like him, we're not responsible for what he does, you know, just whatever you're going to do, go ahead and do it. And immediately the guy playing the rogue just kind of like looked up and goes, hey, where's everybody going? At that moment, a pillar of greasy black flames just descended from Maglubiet's eyes and hit the rogue, filling the entire room with a greasy black smoke. Everybody on the table just started crying hysterically as I'm describing this entire scene. And eventually the smoke clears, and I had to do some creative rolling, like, okay, does Maglubiet want to kill him right away, or does he want to make his life interesting? Once I did the rolls, the smoke clears, and all the players notice the character got turned into a goblin, who basically was wearing the half-elf, the rogue's clothes, so we knew who it was. And the Maglubiet and the player and the character kind of got a warning from Maglubiet that at this point from now on, he was essentially the Mighty One's bitch. So he was eventually used later on in the campaign as a kind of warning from the religious elders within the Hobgoblin community, by the Hobgoblin community, as a kind of warning, like, don't blaspheme our God because this is what happened to you. This could happen to you type of situation. And yeah, that was pretty much one of the last times the particular player came to my game. I have more stories similar to that vein, but I thought that I would share that one as a rather interesting reminder of the powers that DMs can have if they're willing to do a little bit of creative rolling. Anyway, this is Dumak the Artist signing off. Sanchini Falcha. Have a nice day.